just happened to post a half nudie picture on the internet.
If
you guys haven't seen that, go check it out.
Yeah.
But basically the description of the picture was talking about how you had made a weight cut from about 230 pounds to about 205 pounds. I think you said 270.
Yeah.
So when talking about that, let's first talk about where did you start at before you got to 230 pounds? Where was the baseline at?
So, like before I...
where did you normally hang around at?
Like after high school, I was about 210, and I hovered around 210 for the longest time. I kind of stayed at that weight, and then I really started, what happened was I really started focusing on my nutrition and kind of dialing that down, and like what was holding me back is I just wasn't eating enough. Like I was doing all these, high intensity, high rep workouts, and not eating enough to get bigger, not to recover from it. So I kind of just did it like, man, I just need to eat. You gotta eat big to get big. So I put on a good 20 pounds, spent a little over a year. I bulked up for a while, just trying to put on size, and I got a lot stronger. And once I did dial down nutrition, I just saw a huge difference. Like I just put on mass, like I got way bigger. And when I got to around 230, I was starting to feel a little fluffy. So I decided to maybe just cut down a little bit.
The ego started shrinking just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. So and then after that, because I had been keeping track of my nutrition, I knew where I was at. So from there, I made like a strategic cut for like a 12-week cut to cut all that extra poundage I put on.
So kind of explain a little bit about how you made that cut from 230 down to 207. Like, what was your strategy to get down there?
So I guess start from the beginning. So when I was bulking, like what I did was I had to figure out like kind of what I needed to eat to put on size. Like, so I kind of started, and I recommend people doing this as well, is you kind of start by figuring out like what's it's called BMR, like your basic metabolic rate, and like what you need to eat just to maintain your weight. And that, it takes a while, like it's gonna take some trial and error. There's calculators online you can use, but just based on individual differences, age, sex, height, muscle mass, like some people's metabolism is not gonna be perfectly calculated. So I experimented with that until I kind of found a point where like, okay, I need to eat around this much to maintain my weight. And then from there, I just gradually added calories till I was putting on maybe a pound, no more than 2 a week, maybe averaging probably a pound a week. And that's where I put on like 20 pounds. So I was essentially, bulking for like over 20 weeks. So I got to 230, but because I was keeping track of like my calories, my macros as well, like I kind of knew where I was at. So when I decided to cut, I didn't want to cut for a really long time, so I kind of did initially a pretty drastic cut. I cut off 500 calories from the get-go from where I was at. And then once that, I just used that, I rode that as long as I could, just losing weight gradually by that. And then when that stalled, I just, instead of cutting like another 500, because I thought it'd be smart just to cut like gradually, so I just would maybe cut 200 calories at a time. So initially my weight loss was pretty quick, but as you get leaner and as you lose more muscle or more fat, to preserve that muscle, you don't want to cut your calories too drastically. So I made slower cuts in my calories after that. And I just kind of continued that on for 12 weeks until like I had felt like I was at a good point where I'd lost all the weight I wanted to. And my physique was at where I wanted to as well, so.
Cool. And so basically what you're trying to say is that he used steroids.
Yes. Calorie deficit.
That's actually what he said. He used steroids, and that's...
Some good old D-ball and just...
that's the easy answer.
Yeah.
No. So you make a great point that, cutting drastically is not necessarily the answer, because the faster you cut weight, the more likely you are to lose muscle.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's often misunderstood when people make cuts, is that they think about losing a ton of fat, and the goal is to try to keep as much muscle as possible.
Yeah, exactly. How I like to look at it when I'm cutting is I want to eat as much as possible while still losing weight. I don't want to drop my calories in half, and maybe you'll lose a lot of weight initially, but you're going to hit a roadblock really soon. And like if you're a guy eating under 2,000 calories, like if you just cut your calories super drastically, like where are you going to go? And it's not healthy, and it's like you're going to stall and start losing muscle as well. So trying to eat as much as possible in the cut is a good goal to aim for, just so you preserve as much muscle, keep yourself all the nutrients as much as you can. So
Sign me up for that.
yeah,
I eat as much as I can and still lose weight.
yeah.
Who doesn't want
I
to do
mean,
that?
by the end of my cut, I was still eating around 2,800, 3,000 calories. So I definitely wasn't starving myself. I was eating plenty of food. I had still my big meals, so it wasn't like I was eating salads every day either. I had plenty of food.
Yeah, so as far as the psychological aspect of it, did you ever have points in that cut where you just felt like shit?
Not really. I mean, I will say when you get like below 10%, there's a little, like, it gets a little harder. Like, I'll actually feel the hunger,
10% of
body fat.
10% body fat.
Yeah. There's like a little bit of hunger, but nothing where, like, you know, even if I drink a bunch of water or something, you kind of pass. And that was only probably the last like 2 or 3 weeks of the cut. But 90%, 80% of the cut was a breeze, really, just because I did it slowly, and because my body was slowly adjusting to it. It was never drastic. It was never like I just was starving myself every day at all.
So it's easy, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's just that easy.
All it takes is just smart planning and having a strategy to follow.
Definitely.
And you make it hard for yourself when you do cut calories too quickly, because then you do get hungry, and then it becomes really psychological because you have to fight that hunger pain mentally, and you'll get weaker in the gym. Like because I cut so slowly, and I was still able to keep my calories high, like my strength maintained very well. So it wasn't psychological, like I wasn't, beating myself up because everything was going down. So it definitely helps. So.